wait, the class has been pushed live. I'm gonna make you host now. Then you will have to make me co-host back.
Okay, we can do
Thanks.
that.
Done.
And done.
Thanks.
All right, we're ready.
Thanks. Great.
Good afternoon. How's everybody? Hey, Mary Ellen. Can you hear me, Mary Ellen? Oh, it looks like your mic is not working. If Hey, Suraj, can you hear us? Okay. And Peachy, can you hear us now? If you can, unmute and just say hi so I know your microphones are working.
Hi, I can hear you.
Okay, hi Peachy. Good to have you back. And did I pronounce your name correct, Siraj? Hi, welcome. Oh, there you are. Thanks for joining us. Mary Ellen, I hope you can hear us. If you can, let us know in the chat. It looks like you don't have a microphone, but hopefully you can hear me. So we're got several other people signed up. So hopefully a few more people are going to come in. So we're going to hang out here just a few minutes and give other people a chance to come in. We'll wait about 1 more minute. While we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and start getting things set up. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, so you should see my screen now. And I'm going to move your pictures over to my other monitor so I can see everyone over there. All right. And I'm not going to mute everyone at this point because we got a small group, so I'll leave microphones open, but just to let you know that if we start to pick up any background noises or echoes, I will just go ahead and mute everyone. So as we're going along, if you're having any questions or comments, please remember to just go ahead and unmute yourself and then ask your question or make your comment. That way I'll make sure that I hear you. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the chat. And that is now open as well. So if anyone is having problems with their microphone, and again, Mary Ellen, I haven't heard from you. Hopefully you're hearing us. And if you are, you can use the chat to get in touch with us. Michael is here from our Get Set Up TA support group, and he's going to be helping me manage the chat, as well as helping with any technical issues we might have along the way as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And hopefully we'll have a few more people join us mid-stride here, but this is a fairly large topic, and I don't want to wait too long because I want to make sure we have plenty of time to cover everything we want to go over today. So let's go ahead and get started. This is all about privacy on Facebook. And my name is Wade Yarbrough. I want to thank you all for joining. Hope you enjoy the class. A little bit about me and my background. I'm from a small town in Western Tennessee called Mason. I have a PhD in psychology. It's in experimental psychology, working primarily with pigeons. And I taught psychology a number of different times throughout my career. But most of my career was spent designing, installing, and training users on hospital information systems. So I've done a lot of adult training. But what I like about Get Set Up is that I'm teaching individuals that are interested in the topic that they're taking, as opposed to people that are taking the class because their employer made them take the class. And that's what we like to do at Get Set Up, is to create an environment where you can take classes about topics you're interested in, along with other people that are interested in the same topic. You can interact with each other, hear each other's questions, and ask questions of the guide, which is what we call the full Get Set Up experience. The class is being recorded, and any participant can request a copy of that recording. You can do that by sending an email to help@getsetup.io. If you don't already have that email address in your email contacts, it is in the chat. So you can copy it from there and go ahead and put it in your email. There's several other reasons to use that. This is pretty much your one-stop shopping for any communication you need to have with us, any questions, comments, complaints, and you can use that one email address and we'll route it to the right person. Session is also being live streamed today, so I do want to welcome anyone that's joining us via live stream. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the class as well. Thanks for attending. But again, want to make sure that you know that the only way to get that full Get Set Up experience is to go to our website and register for the class. That way you can interact with the guide and the other learners. And finally, Get Set Up is not paid by Facebook or anyone else to promote the products that we train on. We are purely trainers. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to cover today. We'll talk a little bit about some key privacy terms that you need to know about to understand the rest of the class. And then the three things we're going to focus on is limiting who can see what you're posting, limiting who can see who you will see on your news feed, controlling what's on your news feed, and then limiting who can see your profile information. Those are the three primary aspects of privacy, and we'll touch on each one of those. Now, there are several other Facebook classes. Facebook, what it is, how it works, and why join is really the introductory class. In that class, we show you how to post things on Facebook, how to go through your newsfeed and other parts of Facebook. So we're not going to be covering that in this class. We're going to focus just on privacy issues. We also have a class on Facebook Messenger, how to use that, and a class on Facebook groups. And we're adding a couple of new classes around Facebook as well. So we have a lot of offerings on Facebook. But the topic for today is privacy. So let's talk about several key terms that you need to understand. And the first one is own Facebook. And basically anyone that has a Facebook account is own Facebook. And that means they can see anyone else who is on Facebook. They can see their public posts, their public profile, and they can message that person using Facebook Messenger. So that's kind of the basic level of communication that's available to anyone and everyone on Facebook. A friend is a step up above what you can do if you're just on Facebook. Friend is a two-way commitment, as you know. Each person has to agree to be friends. And that sort of bumps this information up a level. So now that you can see that person's post to friends as well as their public post. You can see their full friends profile, not just their public profile. And their friends are actually your information to identify people to send messages to. It's your contact list, basically, for messaging, which makes it easier to message people. So that's the advantage of being friends. And then following is a one-way activity where you can get information without sending information to that account. And following is typically related to a page, which is something owned by a company, an organization, or celebrity, where they want to send information to you. They're not going to be looking for information back from you. So things that you post can't be seen by the person that owns that page. And so again, if you have any questions as we're going along, please do just go ahead and unmute and ask your questions. Now, there's several other terms that are more specifically related to privacy, but they relate to those other terms. One thing you can do is restrict a friend, and all of these have to do with that friend relationship. So you're still friends, but you can restrict a friend, which means they can't see your posts. So if there's someone that you don't want to be able to see what you're posting any longer, you can restrict that person. They can't see your post unless you post them as public. You can still see that person's posts. You can unfollow a friend, and that means you don't see their post. Again, unless they're posted as public, because anybody on Facebook can see public posts, they can still see your post. Snoozing is basically unfollowing someone for 30 days. It's like a time-limited version of unfollowing someone. If you unfriend somebody, it puts you back like you were before you agreed to be friends to begin with. They don't see your post, and you don't see their post unless they're posted as public. So again, you're both still on Facebook. You can have all the rights of anybody that's on Facebook. Blocking is a little bit different. That's like putting a true brick wall up. So blocking is unfriending, but if you block someone, you don't even see their public post. They don't see your public posts, and they can't message you, and you can't message them. So pretty much each of you is invisible to the other person if you block someone on Facebook. What questions do you have about these terms? I'm going to keep moving forward if there are no questions, but again, please do stop and ask questions if you have them. Oops. So we're going to stop here, and I'm going to go ahead and flip over to Facebook, and we're going to talk about how all of this works. Give me just 1 second. Oops. I need to move something around quickly here that I forgot to move earlier. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start off by talking about limiting who can see your posts. So we're going to go up to here where you actually would create a post, and 2 ways to create a post, either here or you can do it from the ad up here. But we're going to just do it from here. This is the easiest way to post. So I'm going to click here where it says what's on your mind. And I'm not going to go through creating a post. We cover that in the other class. What we want to talk about here is how you can restrict who can see this post that I'm creating. And you do this through the audience selector here. So I'm going to click on this. And you can see there's several options here. There's actually a lot of options here. The first is public. So again, if I select public, it means that anyone that is on Facebook could see this post. They won't necessarily see it, but they could see it. They're not restricted from seeing it. If I post it to friends, then only my friends can see that post. Other people can't see it. Those are the 2 biggest categories, public and friends. The rest of the ones we're going to talk about are ways to subset and restrict within friends. So this would be all of your friends. Maybe I don't want all of my friends to see it. And so here are your other selections and options. You can post it to friends except. And basically how that works is I can say, I want all my friends to see this except, and I can pick individuals here that I don't want to see this post. And you can see it's building this list down here, so I can see who I've excluded. I can then save those changes and post it. And so it'll go to all of my friends except Andrew, Anita, and Aryan. The next one is kind of strange. Most people don't use this one, but it is an option. And you can post it to only me. And that basically means it's going to post it on your timeline. We're going to look at the timelines a little bit later. But it doesn't post it on anyone's feed. And some of the reasons maybe to do this is if you want to post something and you're going to make some changes to it and then post it to a broader audience later. Again, kind of a strange one, not used very often. The next one is specific friends. So this is kind of the opposite of this one. Here it starts with everybody and you exclude people. This one, it starts with nobody and you add people that you want to send it to. So here I can pick individual people I want to send it to. So if I only want to send it to those 3 people, I can select them. And again, you can see them down here. These are the only people that will see this post. I can save these changes and post it. And those are the only people that will see that post. You can pick as many people as you want to here. You can pick 15, 20 people. however many you want, but it's only those specific individuals that will see what you're posting. It'll only show up in their feeds. Okay. This one is even more confusing. In fact, I don't like this one because it is so confusing. Let me just briefly go over it, and please ask questions about this one if you have them. But this is a way where you can share with specific people or lists, and we'll talk about lists later, but lists are things like, and let's see if we can find some lists. You can have a list of your close friends, or you can have, you could create your own list of, I have a list of my high school friends. So you can say, share it with all of my high school friends. And there it is. So I can say, share it with my high school friends, except don't share it with these people on the list. So I can take specific individuals on that list and exclude them. So this is kind of, it's like friends except, but it's lists except. Again, kind of strange. I never use this one, but it is another option. One of the points here is that Facebook is giving you lots of options to control who's seeing what you're posting. I can remember when it was just two options, friends or public. So they've done a lot of work to try and give you options to control who's seeing your posts. A few other here. So acquaintances is a list that Facebook creates and puts available for you. You populate that list if you want to use it. Typically, acquaintances are people that aren't true friends. It's like the lower part of your friends. So these people are really just an acquaintance. They're not a real friend. So you could share with friends, but exclude acquaintances. Close friends is another list that Facebook provides for you. You can populate that if you want to use that. So instead of going in and picking specific friends, if you find you're picking the same friends frequently, you could create a close friends list, and that way you only have to click here to send it to all those close friends. And then you can create your own custom list. The custom lists have this icon. So I created a list of my high school friends, and I created a family list, people that are in my family. So if I just want to post it to people in my family, I could click here and post it just to the Arbor family. What questions do you have about the audience selector?
I have a question. This is Karen.
Go ahead.
My question is, if you were to pick specific friends, would your post be shown to that person's friends?
No, it would not. And I'll show you how that works in just a second, but it would only be able to be seen by those people. Okay, that's a good question. And I'll show you how that works in just a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Other questions? All right, I'm not going to post anything. Let me just cancel. Let me go and show you how this works. And that's true of friends. Because if I posted something to my friends, but then those friends shared it with their friends and those people shared it with their friends, all of a sudden, thousands of people may have seen a post that I only wanted my friends to see. At the bottom of the post, typically you see like, comment, and share. If you see this share, that means it was posted as public. So that means anybody can share it with anybody else. That's how most people post. Here's one. So James Sennett posted this. There's no share button. It's only like and comment. This means he shared it with friends or some subset of friends, which means I got this, but I can't share it with anybody else. That keeps me from sending it to people outside of the group of people he selected in his audience selector. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep. So that's how Facebook keeps that from going beyond that group of people you selected in your audience selector. That share option has been removed. Okay. All right. Let's see. There's a couple other ways you can control what things that you've posted, who can see it, and that's in your profile. And two ways to get to your profile. You can click here or you can click here. It has your name and your picture either way. I'm going to go here because part of your profile is your timeline, and your timeline has everything you've posted in reverse chronological order. Anyone on Facebook that you haven't blocked can come and look at your profile, and which means unless you've explicitly restricted them from seeing your posts, anyone can take a look at these. Now it does have the same audience restrictors on here. So if I posted this as public, anybody that comes here can see it. If I posted it as friends, only my friends that come here can see that post. So maybe I posted something as public and I changed my mind and I decide, gee, I only want my friends to be able to see this. I can come here and edit the audience and change it to be friends if I had it as public, or I can go the other way around. I can say, okay, I want everybody to be able to see this post. So that's changing the audience after the fact. Now, of course, anyone that's already seen it, you can't make them unsee it. But if I switched it from public to friends, it will take it off the feed of anybody that's not a friend. So they can't. And I can also delete something here so nobody can see it. I can come here and move to trash. So if I move this to trash, then it takes it off my timeline. No one else will ever see that one again. That's the other way to control who sees what you're posting. Okay. All right. There's no questions. Let's go on to controlling who's putting things on your news feed. So this is the news feed. So these are things that you're seeing, and part of privacy is controlling what you're seeing. You may not want to see things from some people, or so there's a couple of ways you can control what you're seeing. They're at the top of the post. So this is a post from Karen Michelle Yarber. That's my wife. What I can do is I can go here to where that person's name is and not click on it, just hover over it. And you see it creates a couple of options. If I come down here and click on friends, here's where I can unfollow and unfriend that person. Either one of these will keep anything they're posting from showing up on my feed in the future. If I unfollow, they can see what I'm posting. If I don't want them to see what I'm posting either, if I'm posting it to friends, I can unfriend. So unfollowing is less restrictive than unfriending. If I want to put that brick wall up between us, I can come over here, click the triple dot, and block the person.
Wait,
Uh-huh.
would that person know that you unfriended or unfollowed them?
Good question. No, well, they are not told by Facebook.
Mhm.
If they're Facebook savvy, they can figure it out. If they think I unfriended them, there's ways to figure it out, but they are not told
Okay, thanks.
of any of those actions.
Okay.
Now, the other restriction we talked about was restricting. And if you restrict, it keeps them from seeing what you're posting. And you can do that from here as well. If I hover and come down to friends, this one's a little hidden. I'm not sure why Facebook hides it, but I have to click this edit friends list. And here's where I can restrict somebody. So if I click this, she won't see what I'm posting in the future. I'll still see what she's posting, but she won't see what I'm posting. And again, they're not told of that one either. One thing I forgot to show you let me show you. I just saw it over here on my side panel. I mentioned those friend lists that you can use when you're controlling who's seeing what you're posting. Here's where those friends lists live. And you can see, I said there's close friends and acquaintances come with Facebook. So you'll have those too. These are all ones that I created myself. So you can create as many friends lists as you want to that you can post to. If I want to create a new list, I can just click on create list and give that list a name. And I'm just going to call this one test. And then I can click here and start adding people to the list. And you can start typing the person's name and it'll bring up anyone whose name starts with that. So I can put my wife on there. I can put my niece on there, or anyone you want to put. Just start typing their name and then create that list. I'm not going to create it. If you want to get rid of a list, you can come over here and click delete to remove the list. And if you click on it, it will show you everybody that's on the list. And this is where I can delete people from the list. I can click manage the list. And again, I can edit the list and take people off. So if I don't want Barbara Smith on the list anymore, I can uncheck her and take her off. So that's how you can create and edit those lists. And then when you're posting, you can post to one of those lists as well. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so that's covering who can see what you're posting, how to control what you're seeing from other people. So let's talk about your profile. That's the other big place where you have a lot of information that's out there that you want to control in terms of who can see what's on your profile. And let me just show you how someone can see your profile. So any post, this is Kathy Dickey. I can click on her name. This takes me to her profile. I can now see anything about her that she is making available. I can see where she works. I can see her posts. I can see her photos. You control what people can see from your profile. I can click about here and I can see lots of information, where she went to school, where her hometown is, etc. And I think by default, this is made available to pretty much everybody. And you probably want to crank that down a little bit. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to go back home. And I'm going to come over here and click into my profile again. So this is my profile. And here's where all that information lives. So if I click about, this is all the information I've put into Facebook. Where I worked, where I went to school, where I live now, where I was born and raised, who my wife is. If you click these different tabs, this is more and more information about yourself. Even things like your phone number and your email. There's a couple of ways to control who's seeing this information. You can do it right here from your profile page. So for example, right now, anyone can see where I'm working, and this icon means it's public. You can hover over it and it'll tell you that. This one, only my friends can see that one. If I want to change who can see this one, I can just click on this, and it works very much like the audience selector. So I can say, I'm okay with everybody seeing where I used to work. So it now changes that to a globe, meaning everybody. So now everyone can see where I work now and where I worked prior to this. They still can't see this one. This one, only my friends can see. And again, if you hover over it, it'll show you it's just your friends. You can also click into it and see your change. I can do all these same things. I can have only specific friends, Only my close friends can see that. So this is one place to change it. And sometimes this is handy if you're just going in to change one thing. Something else that's handy before we get into the next piece that I'll show you is that sometimes you may want to see what can someone that's just on Facebook, not a friend of yours, how much are you showing to that person? Because that's probably where your biggest exposure is. That's a total stranger. So what do you want them to see? And if you want to see what a total stranger that's on Facebook but not a friend of yours can see, it's a little hidden. It's right here. You have to come over this triple dot. Click on that and click this view as. And what I'm going to do is view it as someone that's just on Facebook. So I'm looking at what my public profile is. And you can see out of all that information, I'm not showing that much. They can see where I'm working now, where I studied, where I live. But a lot of that information is not available to them. I could crank this down even more. Everybody following me so far? Questions? And I click here, it takes me back to my regular profile. So that's one way. This is how you can see what's in your profile. This is obviously where you can also edit your profile. If I want to add another place that I've worked, I can click here and add another workplace. If I want to edit something about one of these, I can come over here and edit my workplace or delete that workplace. If you click edit, it opens it up and you can go in and change any of this information. So that's the other way to control. You may want to say less or change what you've said. But I want to show you a couple of something else that I think is an easier way to do this and a nice service that Facebook has provided. And where we're going to go, and this is a little cryptic as well, and I'll put this link, these steps in the email that's going to come out after class. But come up here to this far right icon, and when you hover over it, it says account. So you want to click on the account, go into settings and privacy, and then choose the privacy checkup. And what these are privacy checkups that Facebook has put together to help you control your privacy. I'll go through a couple of them. I don't know if we'll have time to go over all of them, but this one is probably the most important one because it's really dealing with your profile, what we were just looking at. So if I click here, first it tells me what it is. We're going to walk through all the options to make sure your settings are right. And these are the sections we're going to go through. So you click continue. And it goes through all those pieces of information in your profile one by one, and I can change them as I'm going through it. So for example, it starts with phone number, and I have phone number set that only I can see that. A lot of people ask, why do you even have it in there if you're the only person that can see it? Reason being is that if you put your phone number in there, then people can use that to find you. So if you've got an old friend from a long time ago and they're trying to find you on Facebook and they've got your phone number, in this case, they can find me if they search by my phone number, but nobody can see it. If they don't have my phone number, they can't get it. I'm the only one that can see it, but people can search by it. Same thing with email. I don't let anybody see my email. If they don't have it, they can't get it off of Facebook. But if they have it and they're searching for me, they could use it to find me, send me a friend request. Does that make sense? Questions? All right. Go over a few more. I'm not going to go over all of these, but I want to do a couple, make sure you get the idea of how this is working. Birthday, I've got it set to friends of friends. So not only my friends, but friends of my friends can all see my birthday. Maybe they'll send me a present. again, to change any of these, you just click on it. And the options are similar to what was in the audience selector. They're not the same, and they vary a little bit question to question. But I can make it public. I can say friends of friends. I can say only friends. And I've got most of these other options to ratchet that down. So maybe only my family can see that information. Now my birth year, I've got set to only me. No one needs to know what my birthday is, or my birth year is. But again, I have it in here because Facebook curates some of the things it's showing you, especially in terms of advertisements. And it does some of that based on your age. They would be showing me things that are appropriate of someone of my age instead of someone that's 25 years old. So that way Facebook can see it, I can see it, no one else can see it. And it goes through all those data elements over there in the profile. Here it has some additional information. Who can see your friends list on your profile? That's part of your profile. In this case, my friends can see my friends list. Someone that is just on Facebook, someone I don't know, can't see who my friends are. Same thing, who can see people, pages, lists that I'm following? Only my friends. Again, I can change it. That's my selection. So it's a very good idea to go through this. And again, I'll put these directions in the email, but this is your homework assignment. Go through this. This goes to the next, and this is for future posts. This is what the default is for future posts. And I was playing with this and click this. I'm going to change this back. Normally I post just to friends. So I'm going to. So when I go to the audience selector, it's going to default to my friends. I can change it for every post, but if I don't change it, it's going to default to friends. Same thing, my stories, it will default to my friends. This one's a good one, but it's confusing. Let me explain this one. This is limit past posts. And what they're talking about here are those posts on your timeline in your profile, not things out there on your feed. Change who can see past posts that were public or friends of friends to only friends. So this is a case where you want to go back through everything you've posted since you first got onto Facebook. And no matter what it was posted before, if it was, well, anything that was posted more broadly than friends, if I say limit, it'll change those to all be friends only. So it'll change all my public posts and all my friends of friends posts to be just friends, which restricts what people can see on my profile. That was a little confusing. Questions about that one? All right, then you would click next. This is where you can see who you've blocked, and you can add more people to that blocked list. I showed you over how you, on the news feed, how you can block someone. This is another place to block them. So if I want to block somebody, I can click here and just put in their name. I'll put Bob. There's always a Bob out there. So if I want to block Bobby Burton, I can click here and block him. And if you want to see who you've blocked, you can click here and it'll show you a list of everyone you've blocked. If you want to change your mind and unblock one of those people, this is where you can unblock. And next, and that takes you through that little checkup. There's quite a few. The other one that a lot of people are interested in and has to do with your privacy is how people can find you on Facebook. Lots of times people tell me, I'm getting friend requests from all these people I don't know. How are they finding me? Why am I getting friend requests from them? This is how you can ratchet down who can even find you to send you a friend request. So I'll click into that one. So who can send you friend requests? Mine is set to everyone. maybe I want to ratchet that down a little bit. I can change that to be only friends of friends can send me a friend request. So if somebody doesn't know someone that's a friend of mine, I don't want them even sending me a friend request. Those are the only two options you have there, but it really lets you decide how wide open you want that. If you're getting too many friend requests, change it from everyone to friend of friends. I think by default, it's everyone. And it shows you your pending friend request here. You can go ahead and deal with those, either confirm that friend request or delete it from here. There's other places in Facebook where you can do that as well. And we talked about this already. This is choosing how people can look you up by phone number and email. So I've got it set so anybody that has my phone number can find me by phone number. Anyone that has my email can find me by email. Again, I can ratchet that down to be only friends of friends. In this case, that would make sense if I change the other one, because only friends of friends can send me a friend request. And the last one is, do you want search engines to be able to view your profile and get information? If you have this turned on, Google can search your profile and people can get information from Google. I have that turned off. Do you want search engines outside of Facebook to link to your profile? I don't want people getting into my profile outside of Facebook. And that's that one. So there's a couple others here. You can go through these. This one talks about your account structure, checks your password, and if you want to do two-factor authentication, it talks about that. Here's your data settings, and you can control ads to some extent. You can tell Facebook what type of ads you want to see. You can't tell Facebook not to show you ads, but you can, to some extent, control what types of ads that Facebook is showing you. So that's your homework assignment, to take a look at those. One last thing I want to show you quickly. We got just a couple of minutes left. I'm going to go out of here, and you can just click here to go out of here. I'm going to come back into settings and privacy again. And here I'm going to go into settings. And there's an option here called memorialization settings. This one's a little morbid maybe, but it's something we need to think about. Decide what happens to your account after you pass away. Again, this falls under privacy because you want to have some say in terms of who can see everything that you've put into your Facebook throughout your life. So I'll go into here. And you've got a couple of different choices. You can define a legacy contact, someone that is responsible for your Facebook account in the event that you pass away. I have my wife set as the person that will own my account. She can manage what happens. She can manage tributes on my profile. She can request removal of my account. She can respond to any new friend requests that I get. She can update my profile and my cover photo, letting people know that I've passed away. The other option is you can just request that all of your account information be deleted if you pass away. Now, in that case, you still need to let Facebook know, and they have a form basically that has to be completed, which requires some sort of formal documentation in terms of, I think you have to have at least a newspaper obituary, and in some cases it may require a copy of the death certificate, because Facebook wants to make sure they don't accidentally delete the account of someone that's still alive. But those are your two basic choices. In the email that's coming out after class, I have a link to an article that goes over this in a lot more detail. This is fairly complicated, but it's something worth taking a look at. Can I answer any questions about legacy contact and memorialization? Okay. That's the everything I wanted to show you, and we are right on schedule time-wise. Any questions about anything we've covered, or any questions about anything I haven't covered before we move on? Right, I'm going to go back to our slides then. So that's the end of the actual class. I do want to thank you for attending. Hope you enjoyed the class. And since this is about Facebook, I know that you know about social media. So we hope you'll be sharing your experiences on Facebook. And if you do, you can tag us by putting @GetSetUp in your post, and that will send us a copy of what you're posting. And if you do that, we'll like your post as well. Mentioned these, I think, already, but there's some related classes. There's a Facebook groups class, that introductory class, Facebook, what it is, how it works. This is where we cover how to post and how to manage your inbox and a lot of that other information that we didn't cover today, and the Facebook Messenger class. So I do want to mention what's going to happen after class, especially if you're new to Facebook, new to Get Set Up. You'll get an email, and there's several sections in that email. The first section is a class notes. I've referred to this already. This is where there'll be that link to how you can memorialize your account. And there'll be links to several other things that we either covered in class or something related to what we covered in class. So click on those links and take a look at that information. If you'd like to tell a friend about the class so they can take the next time we offer the class, you can post that on Facebook. Now you know how to post it to just the people you want to post it to. So you can get a link here and post it through your Facebook page, or you can just send it via email, whichever way you're more comfortable with. That email is going to have 3 classes that you might be interested in. If you're interested in one or more of those, just click on it and it will take you to the registration page for that class. You can sign up, saves you some time and effort. If you click the Give Feedback link, it will open the feedback page. Very quick to fill this out. 2 questions. How do you want to rate the class itself? And just click on the number of stars, 1 to 5. Rate the guide. Same thing, click on the number of stars, 1 to 5. There's optional comments, and we certainly hope you'll provide some comments telling us why you gave us that rating, but the comments are optional. And then just click done, very quick and easy. We hope you're enjoying being part of the Get Set Up community, and there are other ways you can get more involved if you are. Several things you can do. We're creating interest groups around the tech classes. We don't have a Facebook interest group yet, but we're going to look interested in starting one up. So if you're interested in either being part of that Facebook interest group or even hosting that interest group, you can let us know by sending an email to help@getsetup.io, that same email we gave you at the top of the class. So interest groups are a case where learners can just get together on a regular basis and talk about what they're doing, share ideas they've got, ask questions of other people in terms of how they're handling things, just like a support group of sorts. You can suggest new classes. If you belong to organizations that you think would be good partners for Get Set Up, you can let us know about those organizations. And of course, you can request a copy of the recording of this session or any other class that you're taking. Just send that email to help@getsetup.io. Be sure to include the name of the class and the date you attended if you're asking for a recording. The last link in that email is View Schedule. If you click that, it will take you to our homepage where you can book another class. We've made a lot of changes to the website recently. I want to point out a few of the more recent changes to make sure you're aware of those. The first one is right here, View My Complete Schedule. It's right in the center of the homepage where it's very easy to see. Click there, and it will take you to the list of all the classes you're signed up for. When it's time to take the class, you can just launch the class from here. You don't have to keep those emails. You can still use the email, whichever is easier for you. If you find out you can't attend a particular class, you can cancel that class. Just click Cancel the Class. It'll ask you why you're canceling it and submit, and that class is now deleted from my list. If you know what you're looking for, I think the easiest way to find the class is to do a keyword search up here in the search box. So if you're looking for more Facebook classes, we talked about a number of these already. If I just type Facebook, it will show me a lot of different classes here. Here's that Facebook Messenger, how it works. That's the introductory class. Here's the Facebook groups. Here's the class we just took, privacy. So if you're interested in this basics class, you can just click there and it will take you to the page for that one. I'm going to pick a different one because I wanted to show you how to register, and I'm already registered for that class, so I can't show you that one. Facebook groups is one of the other classes we talked about. And in that one, sometimes you'll get the word notify me. And if you get notify me, what that means is that the class is going to be taught again, but it's not on the schedule for the next 2 week schedule. Instead of you having to come back and keep checking to see if that class is available, you can just click notify me and we'll let you know when that class is available. One thing that people have asked for a lot, and we've added that a couple of weeks ago now, if there is a guide that you like and you want to see what other classes that guide is teaching, you can just put their name in the search, hit enter, and in this case, I put my name there, and it shows you the classes I'm going to be teaching over the next few weeks. These are all bookable classes, so you won't get that notify here. These are ones that are on the schedule. So if I wanted to schedule this class, you could just click here and it'll take you to the class. You can check the description, make sure it's the one you think you want to take, and click book. It'll book the class. You can add it to your calendar. And this is something we just added last week, is an opportunity to invite someone else to this class that you're going to be taking in the future. I showed you earlier how to invite someone to a class you've already taken via the email. This is a class you've scheduled in the future. Maybe you want some people to take that same class with you. You can just say invite a friend, and you can put their email address here, or you can copy the link, post it on your Facebook page to the people you want to post it to, or however else you want to distribute that link. You can put it in an email and send the email to people you want to invite. Okay. Any questions about the website, booking classes? Okay. All right, that is the end of the class. I do want to thank you for attending. I hope you enjoyed the class and learned some things about Facebook and how to keep your privacy more intact while you're using Facebook. And I hope I see you again in another class really soon. Thanks everybody for attending, and have a great evening.
Thank you, Wade.
Thanks. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.